Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking manga review. Today we are continuing our reviews of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Volume 3. The Player Killer of Darkness. The Player Killer of Darkness. The Player Killer of Darkness. Okay, it's from Viz Manga. Pretty good stuff by the GOAT, Kazuki Takahashi. Rest in peace, King. But Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist is pretty good. We're still in Duelist Kingdom, and we left up on a cliffhanger in the last volume with Junichi battling Dinosaur Ryuzaki. Junichi, of course, being Joey in the dub, and Dinosaur Ryuzaki being Rex Raptor in the dub. So we see them fighting. Joey starts kind of taking out his dinosaurs because dinosaurs are weak against fire for some reason. Up until Rex Raptor plays the iconic, the amazing, the beautiful Red Eyes Black Dragon. If you want to see me pull one, go check out my Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card unboxings on the second channel. I pulled one a while back. So, as soon as Dinosaur Ryuzaki plays this, Flame Swordsman is done. Dude, he's done. And Junichi has Time Wizard, and he sets it because it can be played as a spell in the manga and anime. It's very different. It and Flame Swordsman are actually both very different. Flame Swordsman is like a normal monster in the manga right now. And Junichi forgets he has Time Wizard down, and he would have lost this duel if Dinosaur Ryuzaki didn't get cocky. And he decides to bet Junichi, hey, if I win, I get your Time Wizard. If you win, you get Red Eyes Black Dragon. How about that? And Junichi is like, oh, I totally forgot I had Time Wizard set. He would have lost if he didn't get overconfident and try to get Time Wizard. But the reason Ryuzaki wants Time Wizard is because he knows it beat Mai, and he wants to beat Mai after this. He wants to settle the score with her, because it's 0-1 in Mai's favor. But Junichi, heart of the cards, throws out his Time Wizard, and it is successful. Destroys his Red Eyes, and Junichi gets it. My complaint with this duel is that it's not a super interesting one. It's just Dinosaur Ryuzaki knocking out Junichi's monsters over and over and over. And then Junichi knocks out his monsters over and over and over. Then he sends out Red Eyes. It takes out Flame Swordsman. And then Junichi whips out Time Wizard and defeats Dinosaur Ryuzaki in basically the same way he beat Mai. But it's less interesting because there's no Thousand Dragon or anything on his side. It's just kind of a lame duel. And I do think it was a bit more interesting in the anime. In the anime, there was also this whole Swamp Battle Guard, Lava Battle Guard thing going on. Bond with Tristan, who's named Honda here. Made it a bit more interesting. They flared it up a bit in the anime. Beefed up that duel. It's kind of a boring duel in the manga. Straight up. But it does get us Red Eyes Black Dragon into Junichi's deck. One of the most iconic duel monsters of all time. Probably like number 3, in all honesty. Most iconic duel monster of all time. Then we get to the Player Killer. Alright, so the gang kind of didn't know that they were going to be stranded in the wilderness for 48 hours, so they didn't bring food or any kind of real supplies. Luckily, Mai was a bit more prepared, and she's not evil. She just wants to win this tournament. She's not Pegasus. She's not original manga Kaiba. She's not Merrick, who we're not at yet, obviously. So she shares food with them in exchange for like some chores, like the boys have to get firewood and start a fire and stuff. And, she has a little pop-up shower thing that she lets Anzu use and whatnot. Pretty nice of her, actually. Yugi talks to his grandpa, whose soul is trapped in a TV. I kind of like it better in the anime where Pegasus has it, because here it kind of seems like our writer maybe forgets that Grandpa is there sometimes, and I know they can't just whip him out in front of anyone, but a lot of the time it seems like he forgets that Grandpa is actually physically with them, and that maybe he shouldn't just be stuffed in a bag all day. So yeah, I do think that was a good correction to make in the anime. And then Mai tries to set Yugi and Enzu up, actually, when a player killer shows up for her. And the player killers are these, like, dual monsters assassins. They act like these big, cool, dark, edgy boys, but, I mean, their whole job is just to eliminate people in a children's card game tournament. I don't remember any jokes that Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge made about this. It's been so long, but it really seems like a gold mine for them. I need to rewatch that. It's been many a year. But this player killer defeats Mai and takes all her star chips. But like almost every single person who plays this game, he is kind of a cheater. He just kind of traps you and scares you and bullies you and uses like all these tricks to kind of make you piss yourself. Of course, Yami Yugi is having like none of it because he's battling to get Mai's star chips back, not even to get any star chips for himself. But in the anime, they have these bigger, grander stages. So Panic like has leg cuffs on Yugi and uses pyrotechnics. In this one, he just straight up puts like a wire noose around his neck, and he's gonna like hang him. He's gonna if he loses, he bets his life. It's insane. Panic is like, that's what they call him, the player killer, because there are a ton of people on the island. So Pegasus sent out these player killers so that a ton of people wouldn't show up to the castle with 10 star chips. Because it's not the hardest thing to accomplish. In all honesty, with the amount of players there are. Pretty interesting. Of course, this is one of those shenanigan-filled duels where it's like, oh, I didn't destroy the castle, but I did destroy its power ring from the artwork that's holding it up, and oh, your monsters can't escape it falling on them because of your defense shield. This is also probably one of the most famous uses of the Swords of Revealing Light. At least to me. And it's the first appearance of the Card Reaper, the Reaper of Cards. The Reaper of Cards, the card who reaps, Reaper of Cards. Sorry, channeling my inner Kronk there for a sec. But of course, Yami wins the duel, exposes the player killer as a coward, because he is, with Catapult Turtle, Guy of the Dragon Champion, and Swords Revealing Light, a deadly combo. And then we see Yugi try to give Mai her star chips back, and eventually Jonichi kind of tricks her into taking them, which is actually really funny. Imagine getting tricked by that dumbass. But she says she owes Yugi, and this is actually pretty good foreshadowing, in all things considered. So Kaiba is headed to Duelist Kingdom to get Mokuba back, because Pegasus has kidnapped Mokuba for like this evil business boy scheme. And all Kaiba's men have been paid off by Pegasus and Industrial Illusions. So they try to like assassinate him in his helicopter, but Kaiba's like a super genius, and he's like, hey dumbass, I'm very aware that we've been flying in circles. And a guy pulls a gun on him, and Kaiba actually does something really cool. He sticks a card in the hammer of the gun, which is pretty insane. And he's like mad. He's more mad about his card being damaged than he is this guy trying to assassinate him, which is pretty cool. And then Kaiba makes these two guys jump to their deaths in the ocean. There's a possibility they were saved. If this scene happened in the anime and stuff, he would have been like, oh, they'll be picked up. There would have been some line to establish that they aren't dead, at least in the dub. No, these dudes probably drowned. It's actually kind of insane in a way. So Kaiba shows up, and Yugi thinks they're going to be buddy-buddy for some reason, even though Kaiba literally tried to kill them very recently. Before Yugi's mind crush, Kaiba was like a legit evil psychopath. But he had to rebuild his soul, and now he's still like a jerk, and he's still kind of evil, like normal billionaire evil. But this is a guy who has things he cares about. This is a guy who does care about children, who does care about his brother, who does care about honor. This is a Kaiba that doesn't really cheat a lot like the old Kaiba. We'll see that that's not entirely true. Because later down the line, as many of you may know, he does cheat in a duel with Yugi, but that is because if he lost the duel, he thought his brother was basically going to die. He did that for Mokuba, not for himself. It is character growth. It really is. Kaiba's had a lot of it, and a lot of it was due to supernatural stuff, but still. Anyway, Junichi challenges him to a duel, and they use these duel discs that I always thought looked funny as a kid. And they have different rules than the normal game, which will become more apparent in Yugi's duel with Kaiba. But Junichi gets, like, fucking laid out. He gets his red eyes out, much to Kaiba's shock, but you know the blue eyes comes right out immediately after that, right? Like, come on. It's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. What are we doing here, people? It's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's Kaiba's reincarnated girlfriend. That's true. But Yugi tries to kind of team up with Kaiba, and it doesn't work in a very shonen fashion. Kaiba tells them about when he saw Pegasus just trounce Bandit Keith and humiliate him. But the thing it didn't really show in the anime was the reason Pegasus humiliated Bandit Keith like he did is because he wanted to be like, see, TV cameras? Anyone, even a novice, can play this card game and beat a champion. Because he kind of read Bandit Keith's mind and knew what he was going to play. Gave this kid an instant win condition. And before the final match of this tournament that Kaiba witnessed, Pegasus was being a pretty good PR boy, but he was also being very nice to kids. He was giving kids, like he gave a kid one of his decks out of nowhere because the kid mentioned he couldn't really afford cards. Pegasus was just like, oh, well, here's like my expert awesome deck. Just gave it to a kid. Obviously, it wasn't like his Toon World deck, but still, we get to see him just absolutely set up Bandit Keith for utter humiliation. And let me tell you, Bandit Keith really falls off the wagon. You'll see that in later volumes. But wow, poor Bandit Keith. Like, he was a dick that probably deserved to lose, but his life goes so crazy. But that's the end of the volume. There's a little mini game in the back called Rock, Paper, Scissors Wars that you can play with friends. And then there is, I think that's really cool, that the author made little games and threw them in the back. That's so fun. That's so amazing. And also, you have like this little glossary in the back that kind of shows all the cards that appeared in this book and all their first appearances in the manga. Hey, here's where the first appearance was, blah, blah, blah. That's really fun. Cannot wait to do Volume 4. I'm actually on Volume, 21, Volume 22, something like that. I'm much farther ahead than I've already uploaded reviews for. I'm addicted to the Duelist manga. Like, I was already pretty addicted to the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist. So good. Wow. I love it so much. But that is it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.